random first match.
Yeah. Something that I myself learned last week. Chugum always likes to do this no matter who he's playing, what tournament, apparently even cash prize tournaments. Does not pick his main legend, which I remember correctly was Gnash. It's something that he always ends up picking after the first match. But there he goes random, and he gets Thatch of all legends. We'll be seeing Guns and Sword versus Crockie Zeta on Thunderguard Stadium.
So it's funny, I actually think that despite Chugum not being any sort of gun main or anything, I think his guns are actually better than Crockie. So in the gun mirror, I have to give Chugum the edge. But it looked like he wants the sword. Chugum doing a pretty good job of getting the early damage in. But Crockie returns. He finds his spear, which is pretty big. He's going to be a lot more comfortable with this weapon.
Chugum tosses the sword away, holding onto the guns. Goes for a neutral light. A down air doesn't quite connect. Crockie hitting him with that recovery. Crockie going with that neutral light, using that spear. Ooh, the ground pound to be able to cover Chugum's approach, but doesn't quite work out. Tosses the sword aside, the bomb into the air. Deactivates rather quickly, and Chugum going on the sword catches Crockie's landing with a neutral light.
Yeah, both players just trading damage, trying to get each other at kill percent right now. Oh, he doesn't dodge the bomb, Crockie.
Wow. I feel like that was a bomb that Chugum almost was just throwing out to get out of the way. I don't even feel like that was meant to kill, and either way, Crockie ends up dying to it. Crockie only getting the guns, goes to the ground pound beneath the stage. Chugum holding onto the sword. It's just kind of dancing with it right now. The bomb gets tossed towards him. Crockie using the ground pound to go beneath the platform once again, finding himself unarmed for quite a long time in this match. Chugum holding on the guns, using down lights to be able to cover the landings. Crockie tosses a mine up high, finds the spear, uses a side sig, and gets hit by a sider.
He tried to hit the down air, but he got hit by like the last frame of the recovery. He actually had the right idea there, Chugum did, for punishing it, but
yeah, either way,
messed it up just barely.
Spear heavies, especially in the air, being recovery or ground pounder, occasionally hard to space around with punish in regards to the frames. Chugum tosses the sword away, throws the bomb towards Crockie, not connecting this time. Chugum tries to go for a neutral light to be able to cover Crockie's landing, and Crockie is finding difficulty getting any strings here. Goes for that neutral light, or neutral air, and Chugum, wow, punishes with a signature. Crockie sent to the deep orange.
Yeah, Crockie has this thing where whenever he hits a neutral light, he always goes for the chase dodge down light or chase dodge side light. And every time he's gone for it, Chugum's punished. And it's pretty clear these two practice against each other, right? Chugum just knows Crockie's habits, and they're not working out when he tries them. So
yeah, even on a legend that Chugum is arguably not comfortable with, but there's the bomb trade. Crockie losing out on it. Maybe he's okay with that, considering how much damage he was able to put onto Chugum's Thatch for losing his stock. He was already at a deficit, but either way, goes for a ground pound. Chugum's not going into it. Every time Crockie tries to go for these hard reads, they do not work. But there's the down sig, covers Chugum's landing. The gun weapon toss, Chugum oddly enough doesn't dodge through, and wow, an excellent downer to dodge out of that ground pound hitbox to be able to get back onto the stage.
I'm actually pretty sure the down sig Crockie put out was supposed to be a ground pound, but hey, it works. Chugum actually could have gone for a gimp there, since Crockie's dodge was down. He could have gone for like a ground pound or something, but instead he just safely recovers, wants to play the grindy game. That's something that both these players are very akin to. They're not too into going for these really wild edge guards or anything. They just prefer to play the grindy spacing game, and they're both really good at it.
Ooh, an excellent string coming out from Crockie there, almost bringing this matchup to even. But yeah, I was going to say, especially when it comes to Crockie, something I think about is always his center stage control heavy play style of just being pulled on the spear. He's a lot of neutral lights, a lot of light attacks to the spear in general, down six maybe to punish him. For the most part, he doesn't go off stage to chase anybody anywhere. Picks up the guns, goes for an air. Chugum's able to punish with a down air. Finds himself unarmed right now. Crockie using that end sig to be able to cover Chugum's recovery, but doesn't quite work out. Tosses the weapon to his face, gets hit by a spike ball, and Chugum's going for some unarmed combat, but Crockie finds the ground pound, sends him to the orange, is holding onto his stock quite well.
Yeah, Chugum's looking for an opening to get up and get a weapon. He doesn't want to fight Crockie without a weapon, because he's just going to lose every time.
Chugum just waiting around.
It's a chance
bottom
to get in.
Ooh.
But yeah,
wow!
See, he just instantly dies.
That was insane. I guess it's a credit to Thatch's low defense, but that neutral air into recovery, being able to kill so early, I feel like Chugum could almost feel like he was cheated out of that stock. But regardless, Loses game one to Crockie's Ada, but moves on to his main legend, which is Nash. Nash, rather, in his best of three.
Like I know Chugum is a diamond level with all the characters. He could easily get diamond with any character in the game, and he's even plays a decent tournament,
Whoa.
like at a decent tournament level with all of them. But when you're in a money tournament like this, you got to know that your Nash is gonna have a higher win rate than any other legend. Like even if the players know what you're trying to do, you're just so good with Nash. Why not pull it out for game one?
2,
I don't know.
1,
I'm sure he has his reasons. I just don't know if I can.
By the way, we see Chugum switching up to Nash and Crockie picking up Orion. This was the legend that I was thinking of that I saw in BCS yesterday. He was playing this with his spear rather than Ada, and using that new Orion for higher skin to boot. Ooh, Chugum goes for a weapon toss. It actually ends up connecting with Crockie despite that end light hitting, and Chugum finds himself off stage. Crockie immediately dodges off the stage, goes for neutral air. Chugum punishes with that side sig. Goes in with the side air, and Crockie punishes with the neutral light. Both players playing very well with their spear, using the same spear skin as well.
Chugum actually missing a downlight Sarah combo.
Ooh, Crockie landing.
Rare to see people miss it.
Yeah, and Crockie lands his downlight Sarah combo. Chugum, ooh, hits him with that D-light, goes for the hammer. Ooh, doesn't hit the nair, and Crockie gets a charge down sig onto Chugum, sending him flying. There's the bomb to force him to recover high, and the side sig to cover his landing. Excellent ledge guard from Crockie, punishing all of Chugum's maneuvers, and actually is doing quite well with his Orion.
So he opts for the lance. It's interesting. I don't think I've seen Crockie use lance in tournament before.
I think what Crockie likes to do with the lance, based off what I've seen, is kind of use it as an anti-air tool. He uses it just to toss it around, doesn't quite go for any strings or any combos. Tosses it around until he finds his spear and he can be comfortable. There's a signature punish from Chugum, sends Crockie into the red, finds himself unarmed, and I guess he's just waiting for a weapon spawn. That pogo stick down air doesn't quite connect, but there's the side sig. Chugum absolutely devastating with those signatures from Nash. Ends up taking the stock and even ends up 2-2.
What is that spear he's using? It's freaking fantastic.
I think that's an Ada spear.
Is it the same one that... Oh, I think it's the same one Crockie's using.
Oh yeah, they're both using the same spear, but I think it's from an Ada skin, that new one, the green Ada skin. That was just a piece of what it was called. I could be wrong. Either way, both players going for nairs. Crockie, I think he just died. No, makes it back, and Chugum tries to punish it. Ooh, Crockie having a low amount of jumps there as he finds himself below the stage. Chugum going in for a side air. Crockie holding onto the spear, goes for that down air, actually connects. Chugum gets punished for the neutral air himself, and Crockie's hitting with the recovery, really favoring these up and down heavy moves with the spear. Goes for that ground pound to get below the stage, recovery once again. Thunderguard Stadium just ultimately favoring Crockie's playstyle with the spear, using that center stage to be able to go up and down the stage with the spear recoveries. Finds the lance, holds onto it for a little bit, but I would imagine he's going to toss this away to pick up the spear.
Yeah, he's always gonna do that because he's just always gonna be better with the spear. He knows it. Like he doesn't try to hide it by like using lance constantly, you know, or using guns constantly. He knows what works for him and he goes for it, right? And I think that's pretty admirable.
Chugum finding himself in the deep red. Rocky's still holding on to the lance, tosses it upwards, and that actually hits Chugum. The lance hitbox being so incredibly large, he thought he was out of the way, but he didn't. He literally just got killed by a falling lance.
He could have survived that if he had done like a jump there or something to get out of the way, but he was certain it wouldn't hit him. But the beautiful bomb throw.
Another bomb throw from Chugum, reminiscent of the last match that we just saw between players. Evens it up 1-1, and despite an excellent lance toss from Crockie, stocks are even.
So let's see how Chugum... Ooh, beautiful recovery to Dare combo, but that's not going to put on too much damage.
Chugum tosses the hammer to Crockie's face, then followed by the spear. Chugum is picking up every weapon that he finds, throwing it into a signature sentiment into the deep yellow. A side air from Gnash, a neutral air. Crockie can't get back onto the stage despite having controlled this match the entire time. Chugum's absolutely dominating and finally catches a landing with a neutral light. Gets him with the side light, doesn't find any follow-up, doesn't get the dare either, or the down light. And there's the stop into side air to send Crockie into the deep orange. Oof, that signature nearly connecting.
This game's going to finish with a Gnash hammer down sig, or side sig. That works too.
That
one of those
side sig just poking through the weapon toss from Crockie, and game 2 goes to Chugum. It's always kind of cool to be able to see that spear signature from Gnash hit the second that a weapon goes into his face, and still have that hitbox land. Crockie says, "Good game. What's your ban?" We'll see whether or not Crockie's going to stick to his Orion or switch it back up and go to his Ada.
Looks like he is.
We're going to game
Yeah,
3.
I think it makes sense for Crockie to play Orion. It's one less dexterity, but it makes up for it by having more speed and defense, right?
Yeah.
And then the big thing that's different is instead of having guns as the weapon that you're uncomfortable with, you get Lance. And Lance is way better as a throwing hitbox than guns are. Guns are tiny. Lance is huge.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be playing this Lance-only playstyle, it makes sense to use something like Orion, right?
Oh yeah, especially if you're doing something like that. Because I mean, we saw when Chugum was off the side of the stage, if you pick up a lance, it's just another thing to throw, right? Like a bomb or a spike ball. Why not just have a bigger weapon to toss aside if you're only going to use one? And that lance actually got him the kill last match. But there's the down air or the down lane to side air, and the recovery blade gets punished by the weapon toss. But I think what's interesting about this map compared to others is that Crockie's not going to be able to use quite as many ground pounds and recoveries in the center stage as before because Thunderguard, or unlike Thunderguard, Mammoth doesn't have like a hole in the center of his stage. Ooh, goes to that neutral stick with the lance over. That would have been devastating.
That doesn't hit unless you hit it stacked.
When Chugum finds that
Crockie
side stick.
thought he was.
Chugum's side sticks are just destructive. They come out when you least expect it, and they almost always connect. I barely see Chugum with those things, except for there. There's the side stick from Chugum, and he goes in with the recovery, doesn't quite work. Crockie tries to punish with the down air, holding onto the spear. Dodges through the side stick this time. Chugum just tossing out side stick after side stick. I feel like he's trying to make me eat my words. It's just like you want to see me miss this side signature. Alright, there goes the ground pound. Another side signature
He's
with.
pushing for it really hard.
Oh my gosh, I feel so bad giving him credit for that now. Chugum gets hit by the recovery. Chugum gets sent high. Another recovery like that will definitely end it. Chugum just using his side signature, or Crockie rather, just to cover the weapons, I suppose. Dodges to the side light, goes to the ground pound, but a side air hitbox actually interrupts it. That surprised me. And a down sig from Gnash doesn't quite connect.
Yeah, that side air has a massive hitbox. It'll actually cover above you. Not as much as an air, but a little bit there. That Lance, the Lance throw earlier almost killed Chugum, but not quite enough force behind it. Both players are just so deep into red at this point. Either one will die to any sort of signature or heavy attack, and there it is. Crockie finds the first one.
Wow, that's actually the first stock that's lost between these two players in the match. Rather long exchange of blows. Crockie, however, holding onto the spear in this lead, goes for that sidelight side air, doesn't quite connect, but Chugum takes a decent amount of damage. Nice neutral air to be able to cover Chugum trying to go for a weapon. Chugum charges onto the bomb. Nearly connects Crockie, dodging downwards almost into it, and Chugum gets the underarm combo into the spear, finds another spear, and holds onto it on the main platform. Goes for a ground pound, feints going through the platform, forces a move out of Crockie that doesn't punish him, and gets hit by a sidelight in the side air. That ground pound should do it.
A good dodge in read by Chugum. Crockie didn't have to dodge in, but Chugum knew he would. Players just know each other so well.
Yeah, just one of those things where it becomes a player habit in regards to the mobility. Sometimes players use dodges just as a mobility tool rather than the actual response. Chugum going in for the neutral air into a weapon toss, and the unarmed sends Crockie further into the red. Crockie holding on the spear. There's a D-light side air that he's so used to being able to use. Denies the weapon from Chugum, just making sure that he can't get the hammer. Goes for a down sig, and Chugum dodges through it, punishes the side light, goes for his signature, doesn't quite work, and another D-light side air sends Chugum into the red. The ground pound. He's running low on jumps. Crockie doesn't punish, however, and Chugum actually gets back to the stage, despite that slight charge down sig. The recovery sends Chugum flying high.
Yeah, that was just such an easy read from Crockie. He throws his weapon down, you know he wants to pick it back up, because that's what Chugum does every time he throws his weapon. So you just charge up your side sig as he goes for the weapon, and you get a free kill.
Ooh, 2 scoops in a row, however, send Crockie further into the red. Chugum holding onto the hammer, tries to punish with that signature, tosses the hammer aside, goes to the spear, charges a signature of his own, goes to that side sig, doesn't quite hit in the ground pound. Crockie punishes with the side light.
And Crockie's just punishing everything Chugum's trying to do now. Doesn't seem like Chugum's getting too much in return either.
Crockie holding on to the spear, dodging back and forth, goes for that side signature. Chugum doesn't punish, goes for a ground pound, immediately gets hit by that neutral light, something that he definitely doesn't want to be getting hit by, and then it's stock disadvantage, another neutral light. But there's the side sig to interrupt Crockie's own, and he takes the stock, evening it up 1-1.
Crockie had the right read on Chugum, but Chugum, he was a few frames too late. If that side sig had come out a bit earlier, would have had the kill. But we see Chugum in orange and Crockie is still in white. It's going to be really hard for Chugum to come back.
But a nice falling neutral to be able to punish Crockie's down sig usage there. Chugum holding onto the hammer. Jumping in place, doesn't want to throw it into Crockie's face. Both players not being apt to approach. Chugum tries to go in, and Crockie just immediately stops with the spear toss, saying, no, I don't want you near me. And Chugum tries to dodge him with a cider. Ooh, the ground pound not connecting, and Chugum hits him with that neutral light, goes for the cider of his own, and a scoop to punish him for going for a D-light.
Crockie just hasn't really found anything, and now he's getting punished. He's been slowly taking damage from Chugum.
Ooh, that side sig would have been devastating. Crockie finds the lance. That's definitely not the weapon that he wants. Goes in for a downer, but the weapon toss in the recovery works out quite well. Holds on the lance through another recovery. This is bad. Crockie needs to land. He can't be above Chugum when he's got that spear.
I think he's baiting it out so he can do a weapon throw.
Oh no, Crockie finds another lance. He doesn't want this. Tosses aside. There's the spear. He finally takes a breath of fresh air. He's comfortable again. Throws the side air out. Chugum goes in with the spear himself. Goes for neutral ground pound, and Crockie gets punished by a side sig. No! I don't think Crockie wanted to land with that ground pound. I think he wanted to cancel it.